Hello guys, welcome back to Big LT. Today we're going to be looking at everything that happened to towers during the entirety of the 2010s, as what I at least know. But I don't know everything, so it's not going to be the best video. But I'm going to try to tell you everything that I know. So, where I'm going to be looking at all the years during the 2010s, from 2010 to 2010 to 2019, and yeah, I like to say 2010. I like to say 2010 instead of 2010. I don't know why 2010 and just 2011, 2012, all that stuff, just so easy to say. But my entire life I called the years as 2010, 2011, 2012. So yeah, it's kind of weird. So that's the reason why I don't say it like everybody else. Even though that the 2010s ended like a year ago, I just got bored, and during school I came up with this idea. So yeah, let's just get into it, even if it's very late. But thanks to waiting, and well, thanks to not coming up with the idea much earlier, I would barely know anything, because there's a lot of stuff that I know of now, more information about some beacons and some FAA bullcrap that they pulled on us, and I know which years that all happened and stuff. And mainly I'm going to be talking about my area, but there's some areas that were affected the same way. Well, that were affected the same way, but with something different, like Ohio and the modern LED takeover. Well, down in Missouri, the modern LED takeover is the modern LED takeover. In Ohio, the modern LED takeover is the modern LED takeover, but with crappy LEDs. So yeah, so Wise Aiden is not lucky when it comes to his area. So yeah, let's get into this. 2010. So I don't remember much from 2010, but I do know that the tower community was very humble around 2010. I forgot to mention this earlier in the video, but I am going to put some facts into this, some FA bullcrap and my experiences, what I remember from the tower community and all that, from all these past years. Well, at least from 2010 to 19. So that's what I'm going to be rolling with. I remember 2010 just being a good year for towers and stuff. Every tower that was built around 2010 would either get a strobe light or an LED, and most of the time they will get strobe lights in my area. I don't know about you guys, but LED beacons were not such a mandate like they are now. So yeah, it was very good when it comes to beacons and the towers. They looked so cool and memorable back then. I know the one that you're seeing right now was built in the 2000s, so it's not, well, actually it may have been from the 90s. I'm not too sure, but it's not from the 2010. It's not from 2010. I know that. Or either it's clone and its little semi-clone brother in downtown Springfield. Um, both towers are in Springfield. They're both. All I know is that they're both from the 2000s. That's the oldest street view that I know of, where I'm able to see them. Other than that, I don't know. But yeah, it was very nice. Strobes. The strobe era was still going strong and stuff. It was very good. I remember that. The problem is that towers would usually towers that would get built with strobes, they would barely get single strobes. Usually towers with single strobes are either towers that were built in the early 2000s with the single strobes, or towers that used to have some different beacon, like an incandescent beacon that was replaced by a single strobe, kind of like the AT&T long line towers. Like 90% of the 90% of AT&T long line towers I see of they used to have incandescent beacons, but were replaced by some sort of white only single strobe. It's rare to see. It's very rare. It's very rare to see a long lines tower with an incandescent beacon. It's kind of rare to see kind of rare to see them with some sort of white and red beacon, because single strobes were reigned supreme on those towers. Flash technology, FH308s and 10s reign supreme on those towers, along with KG225s, and probably the 2000s, the Honeywell 2000s maybe as well. I don't know. Well, actually, they're called FG 2000s. Um, um, Eric Pape told me that. So yeah, 2010 was a good, humble year for towers and beacons. 2011. 2011 was just like 2010. New towers are being built in America would either get dual strobes, rarely single strobes, or LEDs. Which LEDs, I forgot to mention this, but LEDs, around this time at least, I remember, due to Street View evidence showing me that there's a few towers that I know of that's close to my area and in my area and just far away from my area as well. I seen some that used to have strobes, but somewhere around 2011 or 12 they got replaced with old school LEDs because crappy and modern LEDs didn't exist yet. So yeah, also in 2011, well 2011, that's why I like to call it. So also in 2011, we gained a tower in Rolla, Missouri. This here is the new Highway Patrol Tower. It's a new tower that got a strobe. It got a 3000B on it as well, with very dim side markers during sunset. There you can barely see them, but at night they're bright. So yeah, but the beacon's brighter, both at day and night, brighter than the markers. So yeah, there used to be another tower next to this as well. And around that time when I remember me and my family were driving on the highway and I seen the base of the tower, or yeah, the bottom of the tower was installed to the ground. I was just like, holy crap, we're getting a new tower. I was very happy about that. Um, and I seen the top of it after they put every single piece on the tower. I don't remember seeing I don't remember seeing the tower, like half the towers put up, or just seeing them put pieces on them. Like the first time I seen it was just left alone there with some trucks and a crane, but they weren't doing anything. And then and I'm pretty sure the next time I seen it, it was about up to the tower was up to this here, I think. Yeah, it got much taller. And then when it reached its height limit, it got a beacon, and its markers, actually the markers were already installed on it, but the beacon was there. It was already placed on the top piece before it was erected onto the tower. I remember my dad and sister were picking up my mom, and I seen the top of it. I was like, "Holy crap! It's a dual strobe." Well, I didn't know what they were called back then, but I known what beacon it was. No matter if it was flash technology or some different brand, I thought they were all the same. I was just like, "Holy crap! It's that beacon!" Ah, yes. Actually, I didn't even know that they were called beacons. I was just like, "It's that light! It's a blue and red light! Yes!" So I was very happy about that. But holy crap, the weight. I mean the weight. Like, you know when towers get built, Right after they get built, the beacon and markers get power to them so they can work. But this here, it felt like years upon years upon years until the beacon actually started working. I remember that it just felt like it felt like an eternity before I actually got to see the beacon flash for the first time. Um, the first time I ever got to see the beacon start flashing was I remember here I'm going to show you as well. There we were, me and my dad were driving down Highway 63, going past the Walmart and past the Walmart towers that used to have its FH309 at the time as well. So it was much cooler. And then I caught it. I caught the beacon flashing on the corner by the corner of my eye, and I just look over and I see the tower in the distance flashing. I was just like, holy crap, it's actually working. Yes, I've been waiting for this. Woo! Yeah, baby. This is what I've been waiting for. That was my reaction to when I first seen the beacon flash. So yeah, I was very excited. And then the first time I seen it at night as well was very memorizing because both the tower and the old highway patrol tower before it got its beacon shut, before the beacon and markers mysteriously just shut off all of a sudden, they both look cool at night. I was just like, oh, that looks so memorizing. It's just so awesome, so satisfying to see that. Like one of the towers, no matter how wide the tower was and how obvious that it had like three separate markers on it, I'll just be like, oh, this tower has two red lights, one on top and one on the bottom. Even if there's like three, or even if there's like three or whatever on all the legs. So yeah, I was weird back then. I didn't count out in all of them, but I was just like, holy crap! A tower with three lights next to a tower with two lights. Ah, it looks so cool. So yeah, that was 2011. You know, 2011 was a good year for me at least. Um, First off, me and my family got to go to Branson, which was very memorable and all that. It was fun. Second off, me and my family got to go to Disney World, well, Florida and Disney World for the very first time. Third off, the new Highway Patrol Tower was built, and then I don't remember anymore. I think that was it. I think that's it. For some reason in my mind, it kept on telling me that there was something else very big that I'm just forgetting to tell you all. But that's all the giant things that happened that year. Branson, this tower, and and Florida. That was not the very first time I seen the candelabra towers at down at down at crap. It's Nashville. The reason why is because we took a different highway. We went through Licking, through all that to go down there. We went through. You know, it was a bad route. We went through more than three states. Like, yeah, more than three states, and usually the route that we take now, which passes Nashville and the two candelabra towers, we only go past three states. We go past Kentucky. We go past Tennessee, and then we go past Georgia, and then we reach Florida, and then we go to Orlando, which is my favorite city in Florida. So yeah, 2011 or 2011 was a normal year for towers. It was good. It was a time where my all-time favorite tower actually had a good beacon, an FH309. And back then, I didn't know how incredibly rare it was, but I did know it was different. Even if it flashed like another beacon that I known of, aka the incandescent beacons, but I didn't know the name of it back then. I looked at the beacon itself, and it kind of had a box shape. I was just like, that's not one of those beacons because I paid attention to shape and all that when it came to towers. So yeah, 2011 was just a good year for me and towers. I don't know about you guys. I did hear that 2011 was a bad year. Yeah, just every time anybody mentions 2011 on the internet, people are just like, "Oh my God, that was such a horrible year." I don't know why. I guess I was just way too little to even know what was going on in the media and stuff. But it was probably something to do with the government and all that, politics. 2012. We were warned. I don't remember much from 2012 when it comes to towers, but um, all I have to say is that it was another good year for towers. Like LEDs weren't that common, and they were not forced on new towers or existing towers like they are now. Yeah, it was all good. It's not, yeah, but the year may not have been good because because the people that had like one or even a half of a brain cell thought that the world was going to end because the Mayans, but in reality, the Mayans had no idea what they were doing. They had no idea, but everybody started panic buying and all that. I had no idea what was going on then. I didn't know what panic buying was. I never known about all of that until I got older and realized, oh, 2012 was supposed to be the end of the world. How stupid is America? Because I'm pretty sure I heard that America was really the biggest panic and all of that. America was in the biggest panic. So yeah, 2012 was kind of weird as I heard. But 2012 was a normal year for me at least. Like normal life, boring school, some memorable stuff here and there. It was all normal. Everything was normal except for I remember the the old highway patrol tower. For some reason, it's old school incandescent beacon along with its two sets of side markers just randomly shut off for some reason. I have no idea why. If it was the highway patrol themselves, and I would still consider it dangerous, even if there's another tower with working markers and a beacon on it was next to it. I'll still consider it dangerous just so it can work again. But I was just like, oh man, what's happening? What's happening? No. Yeah, I was not happy. No, I wasn't. I remember the last time I ever seen the beacon and markers actually working on the tower was I think around 2011. I remember I'm not lying when I say this, but I legit remember the beacon and markers on the old highway patrol tower only working for just a short amount of time after the new tower was built. And then after that, well, after the beacon on the new tower actually started to work and stuff. But after that, they just disappeared. They stopped working. Nah. It sucked. I remember that steakhouse over there that caught on fire and it's currently being and looks like it's the rest of the building there's being rebuilt. Um I remember back then the old building had a sunroom with windows and all that. You know what a basic sunroom is. But my grandma worked there, so we'll always go there and get free ice cream, sherbet, and all that. So I'll always go to the sunroom, and when it got dark, I would always see that tower, at least the old highway patrol tower, not the new one. I always see it with its three red lights, quote unquote. At least I forgot to say that. So yeah, very weird, but yeah, that's something that I really miss. Because after that, I was just like, it doesn't feel the same. It really doesn't feel the same. I swear, if FAA just forced the Highway Patrol to shut them off because a new tower had a working pair of markers and a beacon that was next to it, they'll just be like, I would imagine FAA just being like, oh hey, we require you by law to turn off the beacon and turn off the aircraft warning lighting system on your old tower. But why do that? Because there's another tower right next to it with a completely new and better lighting system. But guys, this one has a beacon with two sets of markers. We don't care. One set of markers is better than two, as what FAA said. Because back when modern LEDs were created, back when modern incandescent beacons were created, the idea of two sets of incandescent, well, the idea of two sets of markers just completely went out the window. Yeah, I don't know why. Probably because of FAA, but yeah. Basically when oh crap, now I'm losing my words here, but around then, when modern incandescent beacons were created, um, the idea of having two sets of markers just go right out the window. So that's what happened to the idea of two sets of markers when it came to modern incandescent beacons. That's probably FA's fault as well. And FA did make a very boring, pretty crappy new law to where towers towers must be 200 feet or above to have a quote unquote, what they would say in their words, a strobe or LED aircraft warning lighting system. That was just trash. But I bet that's what they said. So yeah, other than that, I really don't remember any other bad thing happening to the tower community in 2012, except for that tragedy right there, really. But everything else was just normal and stuff. So yeah, there's that. Now then, let's just go to the next year. And 2012 here is I consider 2012 to be the last normal year for towers and beacons. 2013. You guys are about to witness a murder in the tower community when it comes to new towers. So if you don't know what happened in 2013, then let's just take a look at my former newest video. I'm going to give you context. So basically, in 2013, um, FA basically came up with this new LED bull crap regulation crap because they thought they were brighter than other strobes and incandescents and stuff. But there's no stopping FA. So basically, they pointed a gun. They pointed a gun at every single beacon company's head and forced them to create new LEDs. and permanently stopped the process. Well, somewhat stopped the process of strobes. So yeah. All the other all the other beacon companies complied. They're just like, okay, 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 and then they created some somewhat decent LEDs. Like they had a good day mode, like all LEDs do, and they had a good night mode as well. Which yeah, it's not something that you're going to see when it came to LED. I mean, when it came to flash technology. Basically, flash technology is just like, okay, fine. If you want us to create LEDs, then voila, we rep we present you two LEDs, the Vanguard LED, aka crappy LED, and the modern LED. I don't know the name of the modern LEDs. These here are new beacons, and the crappy LEDs can be wired to flash like the modern LEDs if you don't like the very quick flash. And I'm going to spoil this right now. Everybody loved the quick flash. Every tower owner was just like, you know what? Ah, yes, I'm digging this. Like, holy crap, this is better than like we've seen before with the old school LEDs, the dual strobes, with all them slow flashes at night. Like, holy crap, that's dangerous. I guess that's how they were. But this quick flash, holy crap, it's much better. It's so stylish. Oh my god. So yeah, that's the reason why actually I'm not even not even done explaining why. So basically every single new tower that was built must have an LED. But though there were a few exceptions, um, I don't know much. A few exceptions. I don't think I even know in a single one. But I do know that there were some towers that I can't even think of right now that were built in 2013 and beyond that have strobes. Yeah, I'm going to show you a miracle tower once we head into 2016. It's going to be a while, I can say. So yeah, that's so yeah. Crappy LEDs reign supreme, and in my area at least. Modern LEDs in my area, they just popped up. They barely just popped up here and there, and I didn't even get to. I didn't even see one at that time. I had no idea what they were. I never seen one before. Just whatever. So yeah, there's that. That was basically FA just injected injected some poison into the tower community that did not sound so harmful then, but would eventually just slowly but surely kill the tower community, and it's still going on right now. So yeah, that's the reason why I consider 2012 or 2011 2012 to be the last normal year for towers and beacons. It's because of what FAA and flash technology did. 2014. 2014 was something. Um, yeah. As you already know, LEDs were starting to reign supreme in some areas, but my area it kind of took a long time. Kind of took a while, but every new tower that was being built would get LEDs. There's only one exception that I know of right now that does not have an LED that was built in 2016. You guys already know what beacons it has. I made videos of it. I even told you guys what it is and the miracle of a tower it is. Um, let's just um let's just look at something bad that came from 2014. The first Lowe's Tower was ruined, partially at least. So basically, Um, Me and my family were woke up early in the morning to go on a 2 day trip, a 2 day road trip to Florida to go to Disney World and stuff. And I remember we came up to this here because going down that way and just beyond here and past St. Louis and all that was where we're supposed to go. So we passed these towers, and I remember looking at the first Lowe's tower and seeing that it had an LED flash. And at the time, I was just like, it was pretty bright outside. The sun was rising and all that. Even if it was even if it was early in the morning, the sun was rising very fast. It was already pretty bright outside, but when I seen it, I was just like, the what's going on with what's going on with that tower? It's still on night mode. Gee, because I didn't even notice that it had an LED because LEDs and single strobes on LEDs and FH308s have flash the exact same way. So yeah. LEDs just literally ripped the FH308's 308 night mode and just absorbed it and kind of mounted it together as their day mode on all LEDs. So that's basically what they did. Um, the, sadly, sadly, the first Lowe's tower got affected by the crappy LED era. Cause guess what? It used to have a white only FH08 beacon with the quick night mode flash. And guess what? Very early on, very early on, past the beginning of the crappy LED era, it got a crappy LED. It's a white only crappy LED. And since there's no change in the night mode, I always thought that it was just a single strobe stuck on night mode, and because of how incredibly dim this is during the day, it's very dim, very dim. The only change that came with the LED is they only changed the day mode. Back when it had its strobe, it had a very quick burst of light for its day mode, like normal strobes, like the second Lowe's tower. And yeah, and they changed that with a slower with a slower flash, like it was already when it came to night mode with the single strobe, because that's what it had. Basically, LEDs and FH08s had the same flash. LEDs ripped it off of them. So yeah, and because of how incredibly dim it was as well, I thought that it was just a single strobe on night mode, stuck on night mode at least. So yeah, it then eventually I found out eventually I found out what truly happened to this, but I'm not going to spoil that right now. Um, I didn't even notice that that part of the tower was missing. I just saw it as normal until like years later I checked this tower out on Google Maps and went to old Street View back when it had its strobe and noticed that the top antennas on the very top of the tower were sadly removed. So yeah, there's that. Um, really, the only stuff that actually happened to the tower community was not much, except for the new towers having crappy LEDs and some of them having modern LEDs, but most of them having crappy LEDs. Yeah, it wasn't fun. You already have incandescent beacons are already no longer used around this time. Strobes, they're starting to become obsolete and not being used. Well, they're not being used anymore. LEDs, this is just the beginning of the LED phase, the LED era. The the strobe era is over, or I should say, the strobe era is ending, slowly ending, crippling, slowly crippling, just crippling. Oh, I forgot to mention something else as well. They removed the three. They removed the three. They removed the three tall antennas on the second lowest tower. So that sucks. They replaced the antennas with more cell antennas on it. You can see on the top. You can see cell antennas, and on that second platform as well. There's a few there. So yeah. Before that, it barely had cell antennas, and the three antennas were probably the main antennas at the tower. I don't know what they would be used for, but they were sadly removed. I hate that. They ruined it. They ruined the legacy of the three Lowe's towers. The first Lowe's tower got its single strobe replaced with a white only LED and its top removed. The second Lowe's tower got its antennas removed. Well, its three top antennas removed. And the third Lowe's tower just completely died. They took it down and everything. I'll tell you the reason. I'll tell you the reason why I think it may have gotten taken down. But right now we gotta move on to next year. And listen to me while I say this. Anchor 10 Anchor 10 says Anchor 10 declares 2014 to be the last good year of cell towers and beacons, because it can't get worse, right? It can't get any worse. It can't get any worse, right? 2015. It can't get even worse. It can't get even worse than this. It can't get even worse than this. Well, I just can't believe it. It just can't get any worse than this. Shut up. Who are you talking to? I'm trying to say it can't get worse than this. Well, guess what, Missy? I'm a man. Well, I'm older than you. Who are you? I'm you, but from the future. I'm here to tell you that it gets worse. No. And it got worse. It completely got worse. You want to know why? It's because FA, for some reason, FA noticed the amount of birds just running into towers all over the world because of quote unquote steady markers and just steady lights in general were hurting the birds' eyes and kind of blinding them and drawing them into the towers to run into them and die. And FA was just like, we had enough. We had enough. And they literally just created flashing side markers for cell towers and all of that. Oh my god, it was horrible. It's just I can see why I could see why Anchor 10 declared 2014 to be the last normal year and the last good year of towers and beacons. I can see why. So yeah, basically we went on a smooth ride in 2010, 2011, 2012. In 2013, that smooth flat road turned into somewhat of here, let me draw it out. So this here was 2010 through 2012, and then 2013 basically it was just like this. And then when the crappy and modern LEDs were created, it just went like this. It was a slow incline, but it was slow. It was slow. 2014 was the same way for me at least. And then eventually, with what FA did, the hills just got steeper and steeper. It just went like that. It just got steeper because of these flashing sign markers. So we were going down faster to the bottom of Tower Hill because of this. You know, I thought flashing sign markers was a 2018 thing because the very first time I ever seen flashing sign markers on a tower was a tower that the new tower in St. James that has a crappy LED with flashing sign markers. That was the very first time I ever seen it, and I thought it was pretty cool then. But eventually, I would start to hate them after after the second Walmart tower got its FH06 replaced with with an FH, I mean with a modern LED with flashing sign markers. At that time, I always known the tower for it having steady markers. When I seen it having flashing sign markers and knowing that it was going to stay like that forever for the rest of the tower's life, I just couldn't accept it. I was just like, you know what, guys, I'm done with flashing sign markers. I'm just done. And other stuff happened as well, like thanks to this flashing sign marker stuff, like the smaller towers, like the two Lowe's towers, at least smaller towers that have white and red beacons, they're um LEDs, new towers with LEDs. I heard that there's a few that I know of that got flashing sign markers when they were built with their crappy or modern LEDs, whatever one. So yeah, that's how it was. And towers that had more than one beacon with markers that were already on the tower. Well, boy, I got some bad news. FA literally just slapped that crap out of existence. You know the two semi-clone towers in Springfield? Guess what? They didn't get LEDs yet. They still have their 3000 Bs. Well, guess what? They have more than one beacon. So yeah, guess what? Since they have more than one beacon, and we all know this. So yeah, since they had since they had for towers that were built with more than one beacon, basically FA will just look at the tower owner and just be like, you know the rules, and so do I. What I heard of that is basically FA was just like, you know what? You must not have sign markers on your new tower. You get it? You understand? If you dare defy us and put sign markers on this tower that has more than one beacon, we will we will murder you and feed your carcass to our pets. FA was cruel. FA is cruel basically. So yeah, they did not allow markers on towers that had more than one beacon, and it wasn't all that extreme back then. And towers that existing towers that have strobes, basically their beacons will just completely get shut off. Yeah, it already happened to the two clone towers and the two semi-clone towers in Springfield. So yeah, they shut off the markers there because I believe they did that because how it had more than one beacon. Yeah, more, but they both had more than one beacon. And FA was just like, we must protect the birds, but birds are so common in America. They reproduce all the time. So what? So don't you dare tell me that just because a few birds are just dying on towers, running into towers and dying, don't that means that you have to have flashing sign markers and remove markers off of existing towers with more than one beacon, and just towers are being built at the time as well. And they would get LEDs without sign markers. It was a cruel time, a very cruel time. 2016. 2016. Basically with this new flashing sign marker mandate crap, FA was just like, all right, guys. Well, they're just like, they kind of acted like my I mean, they kind of acted like my English teacher. All right, guys. All right, guys. That like speaks in a friendly voice. All right, guys. If you want to build cell towers and radio towers and whatever towers with more than one beacon, um um basically We do not allow we will not give you permission to add side markers to those since there are already more than one beacon. And if there are side markers on a tower, we would do what we did with that other guy who asked what we would do to him if he got side markers on his tower without our permission. So yeah, basically, that accurate. It's like my English teacher when she would give me, my friends, and just everybody in the class some writing crap or just spelling errors and all that. Just like, oh, don't worry, it's not going to be hard, and then just immediately throws us into a hellhole right after. Yeah, that's basically what FA did when it came to this marker crap. So yeah, 2016, it's just normal. Just the new mandate crap. FA just forcing them to do all this and that and this and that. And if they don't comply, then literally FA will just kill them. I mean sue them or do something that would just be against the tower owner or whoever. So yeah, FA is just like, we love our planes, but we hate our towers and beacons because we do all this torture to them. So yeah, it's stupid. And I can't believe when I first started my YouTube channel, I thought FA was just a normal thing. Like I liked FA because they I like the FA because they gave permission for beacons and stuff for towers above 200 feet or at least 200 feet, and just be like, oh, you're able to have a beacon now. We it's been accepted. It's over 200 feet tall, so it must have a warning system, a lighting warning system. Kind of bad at speech. So, this tower here was never affected by any of the crap that I just previously told you guys about. Thank God. It still has its strobe. The markers are not dead, which I don't know why they would remove the markers. And, um, yeah, I don't know why they will do anything with the markers. If they want the markers to flash, then they'll have to replace the beacon and all that. That's something I don't want them to do. I don't want them replacing that beacon with a white and red LED because of how it's a modern incandescent beacon that only shines red. The tower only shines red for its entire life. It doesn't need some white and red LED like some other towers that used to have them. Well, some other towers used to have red beacons that were replaced with white and red beacons. Yeah, it's really cursed, especially with flashing sign markers. So yeah, time was ticking for the fate of the tower community. The tower community was basically, it was just going downhill, just downhill. Kept on going like that and all of that because of what FA did in 2015. So yeah, I really still can't believe I actually liked FA at one point in time during my YouTube career. Um, I was just like, oh, I like the FA, but I hate the FA now because of how they shut off beacons that were on existing towers that were under 200 feet tall. The creation of LEDs, the freaking LED mandate crap, flashing sign markers, them just shutting off markers on towers with more than one beacons left and right. They're just doing all that crap. There's a hair on my screen. It's not even coming off. So yeah, eventually I started to find out what the FA did, and it's just like, they're the problem here. They're the reason why all this crap happens. So I started to hate them and all that. I probably gave everybody else. I probably showed everybody else what FA was doing, or they actually probably not. They probably already known. like Wise 8 and Anchor 10 and and Motor 2K. I'm not really sure if Motor 2K hates LEDs or not, but I assume he does. But I don't know if it's on the same level as me or Wise Aiden or Anchor 10. The only tower enthusiast I know of that actually loves LEDs is Eric Pepe. He just loves any type of LED, but he just loves any type of beacon, no matter good or bad. Well, no matter if good or bad, that's what I meant to say. He's just like, you know what? All beacons are equal. I love them all. They're awesome. So that's basically what he said. Well, that's basically how he acts in his videos. So yeah, he's not an LED hater. He actually likes LEDs. 2017. Oh boy, it's almost my time. 2017 or 2017, as what I call it, was just a ticking time bomb for the next year, the next tragedy, the next everlasting tragedy that's still going on today. It's yeah, 2017 just is serving as a timer, serving us as a little just as a little warning of what's to come in the next year. So yeah, I'll tell you the reason why. Actually, I'm pretty sure all of you already know the reason why because I keep on complaining about this. You know, 2017 was not a good year for me when it comes to towers. The reason why is no other than around January, the beginning of the year, we lost the third Lowe's Tower. Yes, I remember me. Well, my mom picked me and my sister up from a long, boring, hard day of school, and it was happy hour at Steak and Shake, so we went to Steak and Shake to get some sodas to get some super size sodas, cause happy hour there is not just because of it's not just because of it's not just for low price milkshakes and all that. It was for sody as well, or pop as some other people call it. People down here call it soda. But I remember when we got to the drive-through, I noticed the crane taking the tower down piece by piece. I was just so mad. I was like, "No, no!" And then like a few seconds later, I had no choice but to accept it. But I was still pretty pissed. I was just like, "That was a childhood tower." Ah. I remember there's one time where me, my family, and my grandparents were leaving Lowe's, which is next to these towers, and I was just like, "Hey, Grandpa, what's the use of these three towers?" And since I was little, my grandpa made up stuff to that I actually believed. He was just like, "Oh, that tower there is for Lowe's. That tower there is for mowers, and that tower there is for weed eaters." The random spirit of the third Lowe's tower just reappears. It disappear? Oh dang it! He disappeared. Well, hopefully you rest in peace. Rest in peace, third Lowe's tower. I can come up with an explanation why the third Lowe's tower was taken down. It only had one set of cell antennas on the very top of it, but it did also have two unused platforms below it as well. It was a monopole. It was a unique monopole. Even if it was beaconless, it was very unique because of the way it was. It was not just a straightforward monopole, like like something like this. Basically, it was like this. Like you had one piece there, another piece here, another piece here, another piece here. It's like it extended or something. It had the three antennas on here, like so. But this one, the top here was the only antenna that actually had cell antennas on it. So yeah, that's how the third Lowe's tower was. Sadly, it was beaconless. I don't think I really cared. I think it was my least favorite tower out of all three of them because of how it was beaconless. But now that's gone, I wish it was still here. I wish I was able to make videos of it, real life videos, not just screen recorded videos of past Street View and stuff and pictures. I wish. I wish it was still around today so I can make videos of it. I even got off topic. Forgot to tell you why I think the tower was destroyed. Because of what I like to call cookie cutter towers. Around 2017 was the new style of towers, which I like to call the cookie cut or cutter towers because they all look the exact same. Well, guess what? The cookie cutter towers, all they're really built to do is to replace cell antennas off of existing towers. I don't know why they do that. It's kind of a waste of money. They could have just kept it on the existing towers like this one here, and nothing would happen. I bet some cookie cutter tower replaced the antennas on the third lowest tower, deeming it useless. So too much money to keep it up. So we must take it down. So yeah, I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. So there's that. Oh crap! I even forgot to mention back in 2014, the a storm knocked out a storm destroyed the old highway patrol tower. I forgot to mention that back in 2014. So yeah, so we lost one tower in 2014 and another one in 2017. And I'm not too sure about this, but now that I think about it, I think around the same day that I found out that the third lowest tower being taken down, I'm pretty sure at the same day we ran over my cat's leg while she quickly tried to well, she quickly ran past the driveway, but she slipped on some chalk that was on the driveway and caused her leg to get ran over. And it was very, very scary. I'm pretty sure it was the same day where the tower was taken down because of how it was just me, my mom, and my sister. And at this time, it was just me, my mom, and my sister. And I think I remember having something in the cup holders like sodas or just cups or something. And yeah, yeah, it was scary. We thought we ran her over, but when my sister came to check on her, she disappeared. We didn't know where she was, but eventually we found her in the side yard, panting and all that because her leg was ran over. It was broken and all that. She was in pain and all that. I remember she only survived at least 3 or 4 days until she eventually died. But her last days were just horrible. She suffered. It was horrible. It sucked. I miss her. She was a cute cat. So I'm pretty sure all that happened around the same day when the tower got killed. So yeah, basically it was just a bad day. First off, the third lowest tower lost its life. Second off, we ran over my cat's leg, which eventually after that was the beginning of the end for her. It was just the end of her life basically. She only had a few days to live until she eventually died. Yeah, all she did was crawl around in the backyard while desperately meowing. She had the painful meows and just oh my god, it was I just felt so bad for her. I cried. I couldn't hear her suffer. I couldn't hear her suffering. I couldn't take it. I did feel some relief for her after she died because I known that she wouldn't have to feel that anymore. So, yeah, it sucked. Now then, back to the tower community. So, nothing really happened. Nothing changed except for 2017 being a ticking time bomb for what would be like 2017 was just a calm before the storm. Yeah, let's just 2018 we'll open that book up later after this. So, yeah, 2018 we'll get to you later, but 2017 was it was all normal. LEDs were starting to replace beacons off of existing towers and stuff rapidly. Well, not rapidly, just here and there, and here and there. Yeah, that's how it went. So let's um let's uh let's go to let's just go to the complete horror of 2018. The hell year for towers. I'll tell you the reason why 2018 was such a cursed year for towers. I'll split it into two phases. Here, the first phase, the first phase, and it may be the first phase and probably the worst phase for some of you. A lot, and I mean a lot of towers were destroyed in 2018. I have no idea why, but just towers towers like this TV tower here, which is normal and all that. You know, just how it is. Then 2018 came around, and this tower, along with a few other towers I know of, just were destroyed. This here used to be the KOCK tower. I think that's what it was. But basically I consider it to be the second TV tower of Fordland, Missouri, since I consider this one to be the first, this one to be the second, and then ones down there to be a third, fourth, fifth, and I'm pretty there is one that you are able to see from I-44 when you get to Springfield and all that. I do know that you're able to see one of them, and it has incandescent beacons as well. I've seen it at night a few times, and when I first noticed it, I was like, oh, I'd never known there was a TV tower there. I was so blind all these years. So yeah, let's look at the water tower. For some reason, I have no idea why, but when it comes to TV towers, basically people can just people are not working on a tower. The TV tower just stands still. People climb the tower to work on the tower. TV towers. The day is a day. The tower you just witnessed that died, or the tower that fell, was this tower right here. This tower right here. Just in case if you confuse it with that tower there. But basically, there are some people that were working on this tower. They're probably replacing the bulbs for the incandescent beacons, I believe, that were on this tower. And then all of a sudden, the tower just came crashing down. I have no idea why. Just for some reason, all the stories, literally every single story of a TV tower falling is usually when people are working on it. So I think there may have been three people on here. In the video, I remember seeing at least two people climbing off the tower, but I do know that at least one person died during this tower's death. Oh, get out of here. So yeah, it was a big tragedy. I thought I would never, I don't know if there's any video of both of these towers at night. That's something I can probably look into after this video. I can try to find a video of Fordland at night, just somewhere before 2018, and if the dead tower really did have incandescent beacons. I do know that this tower here has box strobes. I've seen it personally. I've seen it in person once. There's one time where I really wanted to see this tower, and we were at Springfield, and this highway here is just another way to go to Springfield, basically. And this highway here leads back home as well. So it's just a longer route. But my parents were just like, you know what? If he wants to see the tower, then let him see the tower. So yeah, we got to drive by the tower, and along with those towers there, which before all this I had no idea that those towers even existed. But that's when I eventually found out that this tower had box strobes. For some reason, when I first seen these towers on Google Maps around 2018 during Pride time at my school, for some reason I thought that the tower with the box strobes had incandescent beacons as well, even if the tower was gray. So yeah, it's kind of weird, but yeah, I was just like, oh, that's very cool. And then I went to a different street and found that this tower, it just popped out of nowhere. I was just like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. They took this tower down. No, how dare they? I really didn't know. So, until I read an article about how the tower collapsed and stuff. It was back in April 2018 as well. But I read so many articles and all that, and watched so many demolition videos of TV towers and radio towers and just towers in general just being destroyed, and all happened in 2018. Yeah, that was the first half of the horror. Now then, let's go to the second half of the horror, which I think is the worst. These son of a bitches, they took over. They took over in the middle of 2018. I remember they popped out. They popped up on towers left and right. I remember the first time I ever seen these beacons was during we're at Springfield. We were at Springfield. It was dark. We left, and I seen these. I seen a certain quicker flash. I was just like, never seen that before. And I seen it, and after that, I just kept on seeing it commonly. It gotten so common. Eventually, around the end of 2018, it just blew up. It just there a lot of towers that had strobes or incandescents got replaced by these little mother suckers here. I wish I was able to cuss on here, but I got parents that have good ears. So yeah, they took over. They completely took over. I just hated it. I was like, no, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, eventually I found out that it was going to be like this for forever at least. LEDs were the future, and we couldn't do anything about it. We can't do crap about the future. We can't even do crap about this. So yeah, I'm not too happy about it. Oh, and this here for some reason towers that got their LED beacons that got their modern LEDs, for some reason they didn't get flashing sign markers until like early 2019. That's when flashing sign markers started to just pop up everywhere and everywhere and everywhere and everywhere and everywhere and everywhere. Eventually the this happened in 2020, so I'm not going to include everything that happened in 2020 when it came to towers, but the the second Walmart tower used to have an FH06 beacon with single white and red single strobe. It's the very first time I ever seen and or found out that a single strobe could shine white and red thanks to that tower. They replaced it with one of these mother suckers here, and with flashing sign markers. That's when I just got done with flashing sign markers. I was just like, it sucks. It sucks. And the cookie cutter towers, they would always have these beacons, or most of them that I know of have crappy LEDs with flashing sign markers, but some of them had these with flashing sign markers, and oh my god, I don't even I don't even know like three. Well, I only know one cookie cutter tower that was built in 2015 that surprisingly has a strobe. So yeah, there's that. That's the second half of 2018. Now this is going on for a long time. I had to split this into two parts, like I did with my the DFW series part 10. That came out as an hour long. So maybe this is going to be another hour-long video. I don't know, but hopefully it isn't. So that is the other half of the horror of 2018. 2019. The last normal year for a long time. Oh, I forgot to mention this TV tower has box strobes and red strobes, or either LEDs. I'm not too sure, but there is some street view where for some reason the street view guys decided to take some street view when the sun was setting. This dead tower here had its beacons shining, and around the time where they were passing these two towers, this tower here was still on day mode. There's actually a frame of Street View where you're actually able to see the box strobes flashing. You know, I honestly thought it only shined white until I seen it from a distance, farther down this highway. Since it got darker and these TV towers are so tall, you're able to see them. And I seen, I seen something that had red lights on it, and I just brushed it off as this tower, but I actually began to look and paid attention to which tower is which, and eventually I seen red lights on this tower. So I was just like, holy crap, it has red strobes or either red LEDs, I don't know. Or possibly incandescents. I'm not sure. That's a possibility. But I'd rather have it have box strobes and red strobes. We already have, or at least had, a tower that had incandescents, I believe. I don't know. All right, let's go to 2019 at least now. No more stuff that I forgot to mention. So I can't find anywhere else to point the camera and all that to for this video, because you wouldn't want to black screen the entire video. But basically, 2019 was nothing different from 2018, except for less towers got destroyed. I forgot to mention this, but back in 2015, FAA created flashing sign markers and removed markers from towers with more than one beacon. You know, we're just going downhill like that. But the modern LED takeover, it's just the modern LED takeover. It was normal like this, but the modern LED takeover with the cookie cutter towers and flashing sign markers, it just went. The hill just became very, 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 very steep, and we were forced to ride down it, and we're still doing that right now. And a lot of crap happened then during this time. But one of the biggest things I know of is the second Walmart tower getting an LED, but that was in September 2020, so I can't include that on this video. But yeah, 2019 was nothing different from from 2018 when it came to LEDs. It was just as bad. LEDs popped up everywhere, left and right. It was bull crap. I hated it. I hate it. I still hate it. I don't know why I said I hate it. It sounded like it was already over, but it's just begun. Yes. I love this tower with its single strobe and mysterious markers as well. Even if I seen it shine white on Street View at night as well. Sadly, I didn't. This has the dual strobe. Sadly, I didn't see it. It didn't get dark. I guess it didn't get dark enough during the time that the Street View guys passed here. So yeah, it was on night mode, because if it was, I would have seen the red. I would have seen the beacon flashing red and seen the markers. If not, then that means it'll be a very, very dim beacon on night mode at least. That tower has what I believe to be a modern LED with flashing sign markers, since it was built in 2019. I think it was around April 2019. I don't know. So yeah, nothing changed. Nothing exciting happened. Nothing at all that I know of. I don't know about you guys, But I know that down at Ohio, the modern LED take Ohio just took the modern LED takeover just basically affected Ohio as well. But instead of modern LEDs, it was crappy LEDs that were replacing beacons left and right. Modern LEDs are kind of rare in Ohio, as I heard of by because of Wise Aiden. I don't know, but a few of his favorite towers got their beacons replaced with crappy LEDs and modern LEDs, just like mine. So yeah, we share the same pain when it comes to when it comes to LED beacons. Let's go. This already I can already tell this is going on an hour. So yeah, let's just end the video here. There's nothing else I'm really going to talk about now. So yeah, I'll just see you guys later. Bye.
Don't forget about me, the big LT.
No, no,
What do you say?
we don't talk about you.
I'll kill you.
Well, you're already dead and in the past. Nobody remembers you. Well, nobody loves you.